Hello, my name is AC Hampton, and I just have a few things that I would like to discuss with those of you in the listening world. Let's start off with TV shows. My first question is very simple. Why do they always need to make noise when kissing on TV? I don't know. I never understood that policy, because you always hear when you see these love scenes on TV and they make it look so real. What if these two people really don't like each other, but they're getting paid to do this? Can they fake that? I don't think so. I just always wondered that, why they always had to make noise. Because usually when I kiss somebody, I ain't trying to make no noise. My next question, but we'll get into that later. And this is for all of those of you that are over 35 who remember this. How come when you're out on the bike trail riding around and you see a roadrunner, the roadrunner never goes, meet me? I've never heard a roadrunner do this. And I live here in a city, in a state where we have plenty of them. But I have never seen or heard a roadrunner go, meet me. Usually when you hear a roadrunner, he's making a sound like clacking, because that's what their bills do. They do not go, meet me. And the other thing is they nest in trees. Roadrunners are scavengers. They will eat anything. I've seen this. Birds, lizards, eggs. They raid other birds' nests and they steal their eggs. Crows do the same thing. Here's another question. Why can't Arizona football team, their college football team, win games? We start off really good. We always do. We go 3-0. And then reality sets in. We start losing. And then we start losing to teams, the underwater basket weavers. We got shut out 48-6. Why? Another question. When you turn on the radio today, why is rap so horrible? But we'll get into that later. Other questions that I sit here and ponder. Why can't we find an honest politician? Okay, let me say that again. Why can't we find an honest politician? I think those two words together don't go together. Honest and politician. Take a look at what we have now. Today is April, 17th? We're in the year 2020. Look at what we're dealing with. All the people in Washington are covered. They do things for themselves. They're not concerned about us. The only time you hear from these people is when they want to be reelected. That's the only time you hear from them. And then when you do hear from them, they're putting on these TV ads that make me want to go, ah. Because they're sounding like they're my best friend. They don't even know where I live. They've never come over to my house, knocked on my door and said, hey, this is what I've accomplished in the last 2 years, 4 years since I've been here. Can I count on your support? If they did that, I might be inclined to say, okay, I'll stand behind you. But these people do not do this. And you got too many people in Washington that have been there way too long. I mean, these people cannot get real jobs. That's why they're there. Now, the thing that irritates me about Washington is in January, they snuck through another raise for themselves, $3,700. They snuck that through. in the middle of a bill that they passed. Now, I'm more than likely sure this was not a 7-page bill. What they do is they put these bills together to be read by committee members and then passed on so it can be voted on. But what they do is this bill will be 1,428 pages. They'll put in that bill on page 79, paragraph D, we also include for ourselves a $3,700 raise. Who's going to read it? Most of the people in Washington are lawyers. There's a reason for that, because they are the only ones that can come up with this language that nobody else can understand except them. Now, when you do that, you're creating a one-sided opinion. And yet, those of us that actually do the voting and put them there are being excluded from this. They don't care. As long as they are taken care of, once they get there, that's all they're concerned about. And then when it comes time for re-election, they want to be re-elected. Because here's a thought. You are paid $190,000 a year for being an elected congressman, senator, whatever the case may be. But yet, in the 535 members that are comprised of the U.S. Senate, Congress, and whatever elected officials that are there, 90% of them are millionaires. How is that possible? When you are paid $188,000, where's the rest of this money coming from? Now, granted, a lot of these people who get elected are already wealthy. That's why people like myself are not being represented, because the Constitution says we are supposed to be represented, all the people, by the people, and for the people, something like that. But yet, that's not the case. And when you look at these elections, the only people that actually can run are those who have money. People like myself are not represented. I guarantee if I go to Washington right now and walk into the halls of Congress, there's not going to be one person there that knows me, because I'm a little person. I'm a voter. I don't count. The only time my vote is needed is when they need to be reelected. That's just my point on that. Here's another question. Why do funerals cost so much money? The caskets. You know, mortuaries nowadays charge you a fee for using their chapel for your loved ones that you've already paid them to have the service. They charge you for that. It's called a chapel usage fee. And all you're doing when you're in there, you walk in, you sit down in the chairs, the pews, whatever, and you wait your turn. You hear people speaking about the guest of honor, and then you go up and you look at the guest of honor, and then you leave. But mortuaries charge you for this. They charge you for so much, and most of these rules and regulations were set up by who? Morticians, funeral home directors. There again, you have people that are doing this all for themselves. That's why if you look at the cost of these caskets, all it is, people, is a box. It's got a little bit of soft lining inside, and they lay you down in that. Then they open up the top, let people come by and look at you while you're laying there looking like this. Personally, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this, because I don't want people looking at me unless they can look at me the way you see me right now. But what happens? Family members get a hold of your body, and then they start doing weird things to you. They shave off your beard, they shave off your mustache. So when your friends and family, your friends go up there to the mortuary to see you, they don't recognize you because you don't look like yourself. No, leave me the way you see me right now. The only difference is my mustache is not waxed. I like my mustache waxed. But, that'll be coming later. I'll do a video on how to do that. So, if I suddenly stop breathing, nobody says, he don't look the same. And you ever notice when you go to funeral services or wakes, somebody always in there says, oh, they look so peaceful. No, let's get real. They look like they're dead. Because usually they are. And why do they use this nasty looking makeup? Holy crap. You see my skin color? I don't need makeup. Don't be putting that CoverGirl Death Brown on me. I don't want that on me. I don't need it. If my face is starting to shine, that means it needs a little bit of baby powder. That's it. Okay? And I doubt I'm going to be shining because I'm dead. If I'm dead, just make sure that I got some Carmex on my lips so I don't look like I'm, been kissing the concrete. Put something on my face to make, add a little bit of color. Not that makeup. And I really don't need that color because as you can see, I got the color everybody wants. This is that caramel latte color. Yeah, I'm a black man. What can I tell you? The other thing, do you ever notice when you go into mortuaries to discuss with them pending services, they always understand? I understand. I completely understand. Do you? That's the generic expression that they use. It's just like I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone, and this guy started in on the conversation, hey, my dude. Excuse me? My dude? Don't refer to me as your dude. I ain't your dude. My name is Anthony. My middle name is not being discussed because that's not concerning you. My friends have been calling me A.C. Hampton since I got out of the Marine Corps and when I was in the Marine Corps. The way back when. But don't call my phone and start in with, and another thing that irritates me to no end, when somebody calls my cell phone, my first name is Anthony, okay? And they start in with that, hi Tony, how you doing? My name is not Tony. My name is Anthony. I have a cousin who has been Tony since he was little, but that's him. That's what he grew up with. I did not grow up with my first name. I grew up with my middle name. And when my mother passed away in 1995, I quit using that. I know people to this day that still use it. But I digress. Let me get back to what I was talking about. All right, so why is Medicare coverage such a pain in the neck? They don't make this stuff so you can understand it. You have parts A and B. And then you got every insurance adjuster, every insurance agency calling you up to give you what? So you can understand parts C and D. No. What is the bottom line? Why are you calling me? Oh, you want me to add more coverage. I already have that. I've had 3 or 4 people call me since my Medicare kicked in, which was back in February. They always call me and tell me they want to explain to me how Medicare works. Sorry, people. That's a 25 to 40 minute conversation, which I really don't want to have on the phone. I don't have very much patience for that. But we'll get into that on another date. Here's another question for you. Why do TV shows dump characters and never explain it? Blue Bloods did this. They got rid of Donnie Wahlberg's TV wife and didn't explain it. She died in a helicopter crash. When was that? We only found this out because he said that during a session with the therapist. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known about it. But characters on TV always do this. Now, I just got finished watching a TV series, The Shield, which I never watched when it was on regular TV. But, since we've had all this pandemic crap, I've had a lot of free time. So I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows. I watched NYPD Blue from episode 1 to the last one. Loved that show. Great characters, great writing. But they always do this to characters and they never explain it. Like, are you assuming that I'm understanding what happened to this character? Or why they'll have somebody's name in the cast and they're not on that episode? That happens quite frequently. But now let's get to another subject here. Somebody want to explain to me why these three why these three sisters are on TV with their mother? Yes, you know who I'm referring to. I call them the hot dog in the hallway sister. No, I can't say that because this is a family show. I'm talking about those girls that could have been on Star Trek. The Kardashians. Why are they on television? What are they famous for? Yeah, that's what I thought. Nothing. How they got famous? Their dad was famous because he was one of O.J. Simpson's lawyers. That's how they got famous. So let's move on. Why is Monday Night Football on ESPN and only ESPN? I remember when cable first started back in '79. Everything was free. But now they have it to where in order for you to watch basic cable and get an ESPN channel, you have to pay for that. It's cable. Why is it reporters can use the N-word on TV and still be employed? You should never use that word, people. We need to get away from using that word. But there again, rappers love to use that word. Anyway, here's another question for you. Why is it that the National Football League allows people to get up there and trash talk and still let them in the league? I don't know. How do you tell when buttermilk goes bad? It's nasty when it's fresh. Why do people have to stand so close to you in line at the bank? Well, thanks to COVID-19, we've taken care of that problem. Why can't we drive 89 miles an hour on the freeway on Sundays? Should make one day out of the week, That's just me. Why can't politicians answer questions with a yes or no? You show me one politician that can answer a question with a one-word answer. Ain't gonna happen. Why? Somebody tell me this. Why do we have so many drug advertisements on television? In the 60s, you had 4 different drugs on TV. Anacin, Bufferin, Bayer aspirin, and St. Joseph's aspirin. That was it. Now you got drugs to, do this, do that. They got drugs for everything under the sun. And they always have these little side effects. Do not take this drug if you are, or if you plan on, or if you're going to, or if you have, It's like, why would you want to take this stuff? Because the side effects sometimes can leave you, and the ones that get me are the ones that say, can lead to premature death. Why would I take it? I already know the answer to this question, but, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't want anybody to get mad, but why can't we kill ex-spouses? They don't want us. I've had 3 of them. I lost 2 to other men, and I lost 1 to a government. Yeah, my own government. But anyway, we'll bypass that. How come we get people here from other countries that won't adapt to our ways? I live in a city right now where they bring in people from other countries, and they won't even talk to me. They don't. Why can't we have electric cars? We had electric cars back in the early 2000s. And what did they do with them? They caved into the gasoline, petroleum industries, and they destroyed them all. They took them all back to California and destroyed every one of them because the gasoline companies were hurting in their profits. I want to see what's happening now because gasoline, when I checked yesterday, was down to $1.92. Now, you know, as soon as this is over, this COVID-19, that stuff's going to go back up. Here's another question. If your job pays you $200,000 a year and you amass millions and millions of dollars, wouldn't you be arrested for embezzlement? I would. Congress, Senate. I have an idea. Instead of having wars where people are put in harm's way and they shoot each other, let the leaders of the countries get in the boxing ring and duke it out. Whoever wins is declared the winner. That way, nobody else has to get shot. We don't have to deal with all these post-traumatic things that happen because of war. Because when you see people getting blown apart, that does something up here. Boxing matches, you just say, yeah, that was a great match. And you leave it there. That's just me. Why can't we be represented by normal people? People like myself. Or the person that lives next door to me. It's always we are represented by millionaires. Or people who have a lot of money. Who become millionaires once they get elected. Why are we concerned about sugar intake? 60s, 70s, and 80s, nobody was concerned about it because what did we have? We had sugar frosted flakes. Tony the Tiger says, they're great. Nobody said anything about that, did they? We had sugar pops. We had all these sugar cereals, and then they took out the word sugar. They didn't take out the sugar, they just took out the word sugar because it was offensive. Speaking of offensive, let's talk about these people who are offended by others eating animals. PETA. I had a PETA representative ask me if I was a member, and I said, yes, I am. She said, oh, how long have you been one? And I said, since I was 4. She said, we weren't around when you were 4. I said, yeah, you were, because I'm a member of people eating the animals. Because it says you can eat the animals in the Bible. Case closed. You ever notice when you see Dawn commercials, all the bottles that they show of Dawn detergent are always full? Why? To catch your attention. Why can't we get the food we see them serving on TV at these restaurants? Jack in the Box shows you hamburgers that big. When you go to Jack in the Box restaurant, that hamburger is about that big. You know? Why do Lexus commercials always have English people talking? Are they trying to convince me that a Lexus is that much of a really good car? It probably is. But let's be honest. Lexus was started back in 1979 by the parent company, Toyota Motor Corporation, because they wanted to compete with BMW and Mercedes-Benz. So they discontinued their Cressida, which was their top-of-the-line car, in March of that year. And in September of that year at the new car show, they introduced the LS400, which is still in production today. It was made then, and it is still made by Toyota Motor Corporation. But when you tell Lexus owners that that's a glorified Toyota, they get mad. Oh no, I have a Lexus. It's Toyota, people. Here's another question. Why do we call dog poop dog litter? It's dog poop. You see all these signs all over the place. Please pick up your dog litter. The dog didn't litter. He pooped. What is it? It's crap. It's doo-doo. Number 2. The dog pinched a loaf. Big deal. It's not dog litter. I guess you can't put dog, on a sign. Why is it when you see detergent commercials, they're always using brand new pans to clean, that they're cleaning? You ever notice that? When you see them using a brand X detergent and she's scrubbing that pan is brand new. It has no scratches on it, nothing. Interesting, right? Now, let's talk about music. Rap. Today's rap, horrible. Rappers' names, horrible. Rappers' appearance. Tattoos all over your forehead and face make you look like a criminal. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Horrible. Rap songs. I don't even know if I could use those 2 words in the same sentence. Rap material. Written in, 3 minutes? Rappers' girlfriends. Skanks. Yeah. Skanks. Let's see. Now let's get into my favorite subject, COVID-19. We're getting checks. Some people are getting checks for $1,200 to do what? Yeah, exactly. People out of work still have bills coming in. Shame on the landlords making us pay rent. There are companies out there still demanding you to pay rent and you have no money coming in. SSI doesn't pay much. Trust me, I know this. And all these people that went out and started hoarding. Here's a subject in itself. Now they're finding out they cannot get refunds. There was a guy that I was reading about yesterday in Australia who bought $10,000 worth of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and hand wipes. Now he can't take it back. Boo-hoo. You shouldn't have bought it in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 is a respiratory disease. What did you need toilet paper for? Were you planning on cooking it and serving it? Oh, we're going to have toilet paper pie tonight for dinner. No. These people went out and started paranoid buying up all this stuff to the point where I go into a local store, starting with a W, and look like a ghost town in there. Now things are starting to get back to normal because people are no longer buying this paranoid grocery shopping. But it was really bad. And now you got all these people that have hoarded all of this stuff that put such a damper on those of us that buy 4 rolls of toilet paper at a time. 4. I buy 1 case of water at a time. I have enough hand sanitizer in the house. I don't need it anymore. But all these people went out and started buying all this stuff. Why? So they could sell it on eBay. And what did eBay do? They started monitoring from the time this started. You start selling toilet paper, we're going to shut it down. And that's exactly what they did. Now all these people are stuck with all this extra toilet paper. They have enough toilet paper to last them to the year 2026. Exactly. Can we bounce back from this? We are humans. We're resilient. We will bounce back from this. Microchips? No. I don't want people knowing what I'm doing. That's called privacy. Okay? You're invading privacy by using this microchip to tell you that I went to little Betty's, geisha house. Yeah, I'm making that up. But I don't need you knowing, because already as it is, with this device right here, you already know too much about me. Let's talk about the upcoming presidential election. Feel better now? Yeah, that was a quick conversation. We'll never have anybody who has had a 9-to-5 job win the White House. Only governors, senators, congressmen. That's who runs. We have one in there now who's just... Never mind. Have you ever seen a fat vegetarian? You have not seen a fat vegetarian, because I'm weighing 104 pounds. I stand 6'9", and I'm very healthy. No, sir. You're a giant number 2 pencil. Because if you stand there and you stick out your tongue and you turn sideways, you look like a dang zipper. Or you look like one of these. That's not healthy, people. And vegetarians always get mad at you, too. They really get mad at you because they think that your lifestyle is conducive to theirs. Oh, I don't eat anything that had a face on it. Well, it don't have no face on it now. Comes in a nice little package. You take one slice out, put it on some bread, put some mayo on there, some Dijon mustard, and then you put a slice of provolone on there, or maybe you start with a piece of provolone, and then you put that slice on there, and then you put another piece of provolone on there. That's just me. All of this that I shared with you today, it's just me. Just my observations. We're not being represented. We never will. They want to keep us under control. That's why we're all in our houses today. Today is April 17th, 2020. And I'm sitting here in my bedroom. I'm sitting on my bed. But I wanted to get these thoughts out. And I will do more of these. Because I think it's about time people hear from real people. I'm not in Congress, and I'm not in the Senate. I'm a 65-year-old retired American. You see this? That's gray. You see that? That's gone. Oh well. I just wanted to share my own opinions with you guys. And, if somebody else sees this and they like what I'm doing, you can let me know. My email address is AC55Hampton, SR, Samuel Robert, Yahoo. Drop me a line. Let me know what you think of this. I'm not trying to win any political contest. I'm not trying to win any favoritism. I'm not running for anything. I'm not trying to get on America's Got Talent. Of course, I would be nice, but, who knows? I'm just sharing my own thoughts. Okay? Stay safe, America. And whoever sees this, please be careful. Because we got too many people dying from this. Are they telling us the truth about this? Probably not. But who knows? I will be back. I'm out.